just love what if scenarios? We've gone through almost every concept imaginable. What if you're in a situation where you couldn't talk or make noise? What if you were in a situation where you couldn't move or walk?
That's how they get you. They're under the ground.
Tremors.
And those are just some of the few movies where these concepts were portrayed and explored. Well, I've got an all-new one, and this one's a doozy. Because while I've seen elements of this in movies and TV shows, I've never actually seen an entire movie or a TV show based specifically on this as a potential catalyst to an apocalyptic event. What if you couldn't sleep? Yeah, what if everybody in the world was unable to sleep?
But what we do know is that none of us can sleep.
I love the YouTube channels What If and Life's Biggest Questions and ASAP Science because they basically lay out the scenarios in bite-sized clips.
But what if you stopped sleeping all...
This is What If. And here's what would happen if you stopped sleeping.
Each of those videos are about 3 minutes, but this is a whole ass movie.
Why don't you get some sleep?
I'm not tired. All the shooting stars.
Those are satellites, Noah.
Can you imagine if you were the person whose house got smashed by falling satellite pieces? What's the insurance for that? And what would have caused the satellites to fall? Already I'm thinking aliens because what else would it be? It's always aliens or the government.
I don't know what the hell happened. Power's out everywhere.
Another thing I'm wondering is this all over the world? Does this only affect humans or the animals? I like how most of these movies have something like this happen and technically it's supposed to affect all mammals, but it only affects human beings, and then you have to scramble and rationalize a straight up fantasy movie as to why only humans are affected, but not animals like pigs or rats or even chimpanzees that are closely related to us. Maybe the antagonist is the Earth, or maybe the antagonist is us, but the antagonist is the Earth too. It's either aliens see us as a threat, but then why wouldn't aliens see us as any different than a chimpanzee or a dolphin?
Because
Dolphins live in the sea! Some of the most frightening and powerful creatures live in the sea. Seriously, if I were an alien, I'd be more afraid of what's down there and I can't see, especially when they're presumably weird-ass creatures that can live in the most dangerous environments. It's not like the aliens know much about humans.
15 hours ago, something happened. We don't know what caused it or why it occurred.
This looks like the same street from The Happening where all the people were hanging off the ladders. Ugh. That was one of the most frightening scenes I've ever witnessed in a horror movie. Anyways, that's basically the premise for the movie. If this is a movie, honestly, it's like borderline cringy. I've not seen a horror film cover this entire premise. Of course, they go through what would happen if you don't have sleep every day that passes by. You basically deteriorate and then ultimately can die with lack of sleep or be killed by other humans. It's amazing how primitive humans become when they lose their basic cognitive functions. We're reminded of the fact that we are primates when we lose our minds and our minds start to deteriorate, and the first thing that we do is rip off our clothes and want to play with our shit. This looks like a very interesting concept, but it's interesting because I wonder what it would be like for people all over the world. I mean, it's gotta be worse for people who are already up 15 hours when this hit. The people who are on the night side of things and went to bed early, they kind of have a head start. So they would have gotten more sleep than the people on the day side unless you work the night shift. The trailer looks good, and honestly, personally, I'm glad that we're getting more movies on the streaming services. Like I said before, I'm very asocial. Somebody corrected me about that. Thank you. It's not antisocial unless you like killing people. You know what I mean? So if I don't have to go out there and see people's faces and like hear people deep throating themselves with their own balls of saliva right behind my earlobes, I'll be at peace to absorb and enjoy the movie the way it was meant to be taken in. What do you guys think about this? Do you think it's aliens or the government? I don't think it's demons this time. I mean, it can only be one of those three. Well, technically it can be wizards too. But I'm kind of interested in seeing this. And that's saying something because there's not a lot of movies today that I'm actually interested in seeing. Anyways, thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.